Welcome back to another episode of Two Peas Out the Pod with Johnny and Shay.
What's up?
He made nightmares crawl into daylight and taught audiences to scream smarter. Wes Craven wasn't just the godfather of horror, he was its philosopher. But behind the blood and brilliance was a quiet bird watching professor who once said he only made scary movies because they were the only ones that told the truth. Stick around for bonus content, including the strange fate of his banned student film and how a moment with his daughter changed history of horror forever. So stay tuned for that, guys.
Oh, what he was the one that started putting ratings on movies, and that's what
I'm
saved
not
his
going
life.
to tell you right now.
Oh,
So, guys, early life, fear before fame. So, he was born August 2nd, 1939, in Cleveland, Ohio. A fellow Leo, I will say.
a fellow Leo, you
I'm a
say?
Leo.
A fellow Leo.
Yeah,
There,
it's a
there you
great thing.
go. There you go, guys. She's a Leo.
His father, Paul Craven, was a strict Baptist steelworker. Unfortunately, he passed away when Wes was 5. His mother, Caroline, deeply religious, she actually forbade movies, comics, and secular music. She thought it was the devil's playground.
Oh, she was. So she lived in the days of Footloose.
Sure. He was also raised to believe that cinema was also, a bad thing, kind of devilish.
Well, I mean, unless you like watching Birth of a Nation, I mean, I guess she probably thought that was a good film.
Yeah, I don't know. Loneliness and repression, vivid nightmares that later became story fuel. He had quite a few things that tormented him, and that led to a lot of his ideas for the movies that he wrote.
Well, I mean, think of it this way: when you go see a psychologist or a psychiatrist or one of those psychos.
Right.
Well, when you go see one of those guys, there's a such thing as you got to do a little journaling.
Yeah.
When you write a little journaling, you find out a little bit about yourself. Sometimes there's kind of night journaling where you just wake up and don't even know what you wrote, but you just wrote some stuff. And look at that! I just became another author
Mm.
of a great short story. I just called the Johnson Maddening disease.
He studied English and psychology at Wheaton College, and then he got his MA in writing and philosophy at Johns Hopkins. He worked as a professor of humanities, calm, intellectual personality. He did not match up with his films, basically, guys.
Yeah, nah. By all means, from what I'm seeing of his films, I'm like, nah.
Those are usually the ones, right?
Well, I
I'm
mean,
just saying.
yeah, I mean, look at me, man. Look what I do for a living, and then look what I do secretly at night
Jeez.
when my kids are asleep. They must think I'm a superhero on there.
And then he secretly began writing short films and scripts while teaching. Obviously, that wasn't his passion, so he was doing this on the side. And he broke from his religious upbringing, described it as escaping his mental handcuffs. So I guess that really kind of jarred his view of the world.
Really?
Yeah. His first film jobs were in New York's adult cinema scene. He learned editing and directing on cheap
Oh,
cameras.
bow chicka bow wow.
And then The Man Behind the Mask. So private, he kind of kept his personal life very protective, and there's little family details out there. His first wife was Bonnie Broker. She was
Damn.
married to him for 5 years, from 1964 to 1969. They had 2 children, Jonathan Craven. He was later a producer also, and Jessica Craven. She turned out to be a singer-songwriter for the Chapin sisters. You heard of that?
That sounds like a Christian group. Is that a Christian group?
I don't know. And then his second marriage was to Millicent Craven, and that was for 5 years, 1982 to 1987. And that one they kept a low profile, no info there. The third marriage was to Laya Labunka, and that was 2004 to 2015. And that was to a longtime Hollywood producer. They did remain together until he unfortunately passed.
An R.I.P.
He was described by friends as soft-spoken, academic, gentle, the opposite of his films, like we mentioned. He spent his free time hiking and photographing nature. He deeply loved animals and owned several rescue dogs. Practiced meditation
Damn,
and
dog.
read philosophy. It didn't say, he just said
Oh shit.
several.
Okay. Well, when I heard several, I mean, he had 7, so he had like
When you do
several.
rescue dogs, it's like an ongoing thing, right? You just get some and then you hold them for a bit, and then you get them homes, and then you get more.
So it's almost like,
It's like foster care, but
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
dogs.
that's what I was trying to think of.
And he maintained strong bonds with his children. Jonathan often helped on his Scream films, and he never raised his voice on set. He was called the professor of horror for his calm energy. He also believed horror was not about monsters, but survival.
Word. I mean, if you're going through that stressful, feeling and of near death or death in general, you know, yeah, you would want Wes Craven to kind of, guide you through this horror that you're going through of his.
Yeah. And then he used horror for therapy for his suppressed fears, and he also used it to help with his repressed upbringing. He had a fascination with rebellion and the forbidden, which obviously, probably his mom being so strict on him is what drove him into kind of wanting to explore this stuff.
Well, I mean, that's usually what happens with most kids when you're being a strict parent on them. So they're just being you know, I have the door open, Chief. If you ever want to talk about anything.
Yeah.
What does that say? Is that the old open door policy? That's all you gotta do.
We fear what we're told to ignore was his creative motto. And he inspired himself by his dreams, by societal hypocrisy, and also moral dilemmas. So that's kind of what he used for the foundation of his movies. He always portrayed evil as human choice, not as supernatural,
Damn, really? I didn't know that.
which is
Well,
true.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it makes sense for how he came up with the idea of Nightmare on Elm Street, though. That for a fact is.
And then he saw every film as an ethics test under pressure. So that's kind of how he approached it. And that brings us over to his filmography, guys. So first one was 1972. He did The Last House on the Left, and that one was social revenge. It was his directorial debut, and his budget for that one was 87,000, and they made $3 million at the box office.
Damn.
They got their money back at least.
Yeah, no.
Well, plus more. But did you
Well,
see that
yeah.
one?
No, Last House on the Left. Yeah. Yeah, I have seen that one.
And then 5 years later, he did in 1977. He did The Hills Have Eyes. That one budget 230,000, and they made 25 million, so quite a bit more.
You said what year was that one?
1977.
Oh, word. Yeah, I definitely saw. I didn't see that
I
one.
saw the
I
remake,
saw
I
the
think.
remake. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't see that one. I did see the remake. Sorry, just the name sounded familiar because I've seen it.
And that one was Civilized versus Savage, a family terror in the desert. If you guys have probably seen the newer one, like we're.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of along the lines of Texas Chainsaw Massacre type style.
And then 1981, he did Deadly Blessing. Budget for that one was 2 million, and they made 16 million. It was a religious paranoia, an early Sharon Stone movie.
Nah, but I do love me some Sharon Stone movies, and you said it was Deadly Blessing, so it was obviously a religious type paranoia film. So yeah, no, I have not got a chance to see that one.
And then a year later, they did Swamp Thing. That one budget 2.5 million, and that one grossed 12 million. That was comic book meets horror, and it has a cult following.
Yes, that's the 1982 version. Yes,
There's a remake too.
yeah, there was a remake.
Okay.
But the 1982 one is the one I remember too. So it was actually a really good one.
And then the movie that everyone knows him for, Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. That one was 1.8 million budget, and they made 57 million plus. So it
Damn.
defined dream horror and introduced Freddy Krueger, which obviously, if anybody knows, yeah, I think even probably younger kids probably know what that is.
Yeah,
It's just
younger
it's
kids,
a
and
well-known
plus,
fact.
no, Rick and Morty made a parody of it of their version of Freddy Krueger because of copyright reasons. You can't say his name, but yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, is it copyrighted so nobody can use it?
well, it's just because New Line Cinema owns the rights of it, so. But I think it was called Terry something or whatever. Terry Krueger. Yeah. Instead of
Oh,
Freddy Krueger's
I thought you
Terry
were gonna
Krueger.
say Terry Crews. I was like,
No,
what?
no, no, no. It's Terry Krueger.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then 1989, they did Shocker. That was a 5 million budget and made 16 million. And that one was a satirical and television concept. I never saw that.
No, have not seen the shock. What is it called? A
So,
shocker? No.
shocker. And then in 1991, they did People Under the Stairs, and that one was a 6 million budget, and they made 31 million. And that one was a social commentary on class and greed. I think I've seen something about that, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
I've never seen the movie, but I've heard of that title before.
And then 1994, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. That one was $8 million budget, and they made 19 million. That one was a meta horror precursor to Scream.
Yeah, did not watch that one.
And then 2 years later, of course, the Scream franchise started, guys, in 1996. The first Scream movie was a budget of 15 million and it made 173 million. So that was his first kind of like, well, the other ones did all very well, but obviously this one did like a lot.
Well, yeah, man, he had to come back in the during that time, 2000s or wait, 1996. And then you also got to think, you got to kind of make the stepping stones at that point. I mean, yeah, in the 80s you did your thing with Nightmare on Elm Street, but I mean, come on now, dude. It's 96. It's the what is the grunge era at that time? It's like almost pre new attitude era. You got kids saying suck it out there because of, WWF. Well, anyways, but I like I said, he had to start with something, so he started with the freaking Scream, and he did a phenomenal job just teach these young punk ass kids that, you know what? Screw you guys. I know what I'm doing.
And then 1 year later, Scream 2, so I must have had it ready, 24 million and it made 172 million, so just the same amount. And that one obviously was just a follow up to the first one. And then 3 years later, they did Scream 3, which was a $40 million budget, and that one made 161 million, so right there as well. And that one, obviously Hollywood satire and then ending the trilogy there. And then he skipped over to a few different movies. 2005, he wrote The Cursed, and that one lost money on it. 38 million was the budget, and they only made 29 million.
Damn, they lost some money on that.
Yeah.
I would have been like, bro, you need to stick with your Scream movies.
And that one, it looks like the studio cut out part of it, and then later there was like a cult revival of it, but still didn't make the money back. And then 2005, he made Red Eye for 26 million, and that one grossed them 96 million. That was a psychological thriller and proof that Craven obviously could do more than just horror.
I want to watch that right now. So we got to watch
Red
that.
Eye. Yeah.
Yes.
And then Scream 4, guys, 2011. I think there was just a big push for them to make another one. So they did it, and that one grossed, or sorry, the budget was 40 million, and they grossed 97 million. And he didn't work on 5 or 6, so that's not on his list. But they are gonna dedicate Scream 7 to him, so that one's coming in February of 2026. And we don't know the budget or revenue, obviously, because it's not out yet. But it'll be dedicated to Craven's legacy, and it's gonna return to a suspense tone.
Hell yeah, man, because suspense is where it's at, son.
Yep. And so his lifetime box office, he made about 600 plus million.
Damn, dog. He was
Well, that's
that
not
type of
including
guy.
like all the memorabilia, That's not including like all that other stuff that happens too with these
Yeah, but
movies,
he was still that
like
guy.
masks and all that other stuff.
Yeah, but he was still that guy that made that money. Hey, 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 he made that moolah.
Yeah.
And they loved it. But yeah, guys, we're gonna move on over to 10 fun facts about Nightmare on Elm Street, the franchise. Freddy Krueger was inspired by real nightmare. Wes Craven got an idea from a real life news story about people who died in their sleep after reporting reoccurring nightmares, and from a childhood bully named Freddy Krueger. So that's how he got the name Freddy Krueger, was from a bully, and also he used real time events. I believe they were talking about sleep paralysis around that time. So, bam, fact number one. And then, fact number two, Freddy's glove was made out of real metal, and the 1984 film was made with real knife blades. It was sharp, that a crew member actually handled it carefully on the set.
That's scary.
That's got to be very scary. That's a
So
very
you're like,
scary
oh,
fact.
it's not even a prop. It's actually really gonna slice you open.
So, fun fact number three, Freddy's nursery rhyme was created for the film. The chilling 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. The song was written just for the movie and performed by real children during filming to heighten the creepy factor. Yeah, it does. I don't want to. That's why, like, when that's why when I go number 8, Freddy's red and green sweater was chosen for scientific reasons. Wes Craven picked the colors because red and green are the hardest colors for the human eye to look at together, making Freddy look visually disturbing. Yeah, it does
Well,
kind
that's
of.
Christmas colors.
Yeah, that's one thing. It just looks like an ugly sweater, in my opinion, but sure. Number 9, Robert Englund almost didn't play Freddy. Craven originally considered a stuntman for the role, but England's performance brought personality, dark humor, and depth to the character, making him irreplaceable. I mean, the last and 10th one, the franchise crossed into meta territory earlier with Wes Craven's New Nightmare 1994, featured the actor playing themselves haunted by Freddy in the real world, a concept that anticipated Scream and other meta horror films.
So it's like
Once.
the fourth wall or whatever they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Pretty good facts. So, guys, New Nightmare in 1994 blurred fiction and reality. Actors were haunted by their own film, like we mentioned, The Fourth Wall. And then Scream 1996 redefined the slasher as a self aware comedy horror, also using the fourth wall. And then they introduced the rules of horror as narrative structure, balanced humor and fear, new tone, scared but smart. And then meta horror genre was born. It was later echoed by Cabin in the Woods, Final Girls, and Barbarian, but Wes Craven
okay.
was the one that started it.
Uh, I didn't know that, but that's what's up. I did like Barbarian. It was a really good one. That's the one
That's the
where,
creepy one.
yeah, it's the one
I did
where
not
they,
like that one.
no, that's the one where like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to have this house. Oh well, I'm sleeping in here. You woke me up, but
That was freaky. I
that
didn't
was
like
a
that one.
really, really,
You
really
guys should
creepy
watch
one.
it.
Yeah, you guys should.
Do you want to do social media hit list?
Oh, you know it, Shay. I love doing social media hit list.
So before he starts that, I just wanted to say unfortunately, our little subscribed dog Riley, unfortunately, passed away last night. She had congestive heart failure. So if you see the video, we're going to put it in still. We got permission to still use it from her owners, but they're very upset about her passing away. So in honor of Riley, we're going to try to make it to 1 million subscribers. So feel free to hit that subscribe button. And we're going to keep using the video in her honor. So today we're going to cover, we saw Kim Kardashian's look. So it's for the Academy Museum Gala Red Carpet, and it was on October 18th, 2025. So yesterday. So we wanted to just share her look and also some of the other creepy ones that were
All I
there.
gotta say is, yeah, if I'm wearing that dress, I'll wear myself that too. Cover my face too, man. Jeez.
Her hair is sticking out the back, though. You see it?
Yeah. I felt like that's the only thing that's breathing is her hair. So she breathes through her hair?
Well, I was like, is she trying to be like, what's the religion that wears those? Islamic or something? I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. But it needs
Also,
to
she got her hair cut short. Her and her mom look very alike right now.
really.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that just what is she
That's
wearing?
paint.
That's not paint. There's
The top
some
part is paint and the bottom part is a skirt.
okay, but no, you see all this? Like she's wearing like one piece of something,
I
like
think
the
it's a
shirt.
net or something.
It's a net t-shirt. So she has a
I don't know.
painting
It looks like a
on a
painting.
with a net. Yeah, it's a painting, but it's over an it's like a netted like shirt, but it's painted on it. You get what I'm saying?
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
thought it was weird.
All right, so let's go ahead and
But to have a couple guys looks,
yeah, we got a couple of guys. Is yeah, okay. All right, I got this. He's supposed to play as Lieutenant Drevitt from the new Naked Gun movie.
I don't know. Look at his tie though. It's not even tied. It's untied.
Yeah, man, because he's getting ready to be like,
Like,
oh man, I'm about to get
okay.
retired. But yeah, man. Try to see. All right.
Look at the shoes.
I don't know what's up with the shoes, bro. But I'm not gonna lie, we're talking about him, so what's up with those shoes? What am I looking at? Because right now, I what she's wearing is like she makes me want to be like, I want to go have a coffee right now.
It's like a I guess I don't know. I guess she's showing like the corset part, but it's like the bottom part of it. So it's weird.
Is this supposed to be what fashion supposed to be like? This is what we care about, and also we're gonna show you like a little bit of this dress right here.
This
Wow,
one,
she
the
yeah
shoes, look how pointy they are.
yeah, but I think I felt like I'm about to be turned into whatever she is. She look
I don't know if it's a she.
oh, or he looks like a little frog, like a little hobbit, like person, dog. Like I don't, yeah, I felt like he's gonna say here he, like or I, don't- yo, I felt like he's gonna give like Harry Potter and everybody a tutor and like wizardry or something.
Oh,
But
ooh.
those shoes, but them shoes are super pointy. Like if your phone drops, your phone, your shoes can still catch that. Wow. The good thing about this dress is that this is purely made out of lavender. She is not going to see any mosquitoes ever by her.
You needed that while you went to the haunted house.
Yeah, we needed that. This is the dress I needed to go to the haunted house. Oh, and which I forgot to put the pictures, but we could put that in post.
It's fine. Yeah, we went to haunted
Sweet.
house on Friday with James, so I'll put some pictures at the end if you guys want to check that out.
Hell yeah, man. Be sure to stay towards the end. But yeah, man. All right, so then yeah, and then I happened to found this. What's the difference between finding out and realizing? Finding out, yeah, that's obviously, and then realizing whenever you wake up and be like, holy shit. And then I think did I have one more thing? Oh, at like 5 p.m. today, I just was just doing a random Google searches to try to see what was trending, and at exactly like 5:15 today, we're to watch the Washington Commanders versus Dallas Cowboys, which just made me realize, like, nigga, just go to a sports bar. Like, they have so many TVs. Like, I'm sure they can get it.
I think they were trying to say where to watch it, meaning channel, though.
Right, right, right. But that was our media hit list for you guys. Other than that, Shay, let's move on over to some more of that facts you're gonna drop on us. Some that 93 octane shit.
So, guys, unfortunately, Wes Craven passed away on August 30th, 2015 from brain cancer at age 76. He was survived by his wife, Lila Labunka, his son, Jonathan, his daughter, Jessica. Scream 7 will intentionally pay homage to his pacing and tone. He did influence directors like Jordan Peele, which we've talked about in previous videos, Mike Flanagan, Christopher Landon, and Ari Aster. His fusion of intellect plus fear is a blueprint for basically how he did horror. Academic horror courses now cite him as the Hitchcock of the subconscious. And then philosophy continues horror as self reflection. So he kind of did leave a legacy behind for everyone that comes after him for this type of a genre.
Facts, man.
So, guys, some unknown and rare facts about Wes Craven.
Ho
He
ho.
secretly wrote short poetry under the pseudonym W.P. Craven, and it's unpublished. He actually didn't publish any of them, which would be interesting if we got to see that. He kept dream journals for 30 years. Each film idea came from one of his entries. And then he was terrified of snakes. He refused to shoot one scene personally in the Hills Have Eyes movie, which
Oh
is
yeah,
funny because all
no,
the crazy stuff in his movies, and he was scared of snakes.
yeah. I'm with you, West Dog. I'm afraid of snakes too.
He actually did cameo in Scream, guys, as janitor Fred wearing a Freddy sweater. If you guys didn't know that, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. But that's a fun fact. Thanks, Shay.
And then he met John Carpenter in film school. They were friendly rivalries for decades.
Damn.
He created a sitcom pilot in the early 90s that never aired. So he was obviously capable of doing other stuff also. He loved classical music and composed theme ideas for Elm Street demo reels.
Damn. So I guess that's one thing. I knew me and Wes Craven got along, dog. We both like classical music.
Yep. And then he maintained a fear library, which was 5,000 plus psychology and folklore books.
That's what's up, dude. Folklore books. That's I mean, you think about
Well, folklore is creepy.
right, but I mean, you really think about it, same thing that that's what J.K. Rowling pretty much took out of too when she
Hmm.
made of Harry Potter.
And he believed that Cursed could have saved werewolf movies if it was released uncut. But like I mentioned, they took the werewolf stuff out. And then he claimed he dreamed Freddy's design after a sleep paralysis episode. So he felt like it was his own
Damn,
situation.
it's crazy. Yeah.
And then he preferred writing in longhand, not computer, and he said it kept ideas human, so he liked to write out his ideas on actual paper. You do that sometimes.
Facts. Yeah, I still do. But I write on a digital pad now, but I still that's how I mean, I don't mind typing out when I have to type out my jokes or anything. I'll type it out first, but then once I type it out and I got my spelling right, because I am the world's not the best speller. So once I feel like I got it down packed, then I'll just transfer it over, and then it just feels more human. And because it's me,
Yeah.
I'm weird like that.
And that takes us to Johnson moments.
He was an English professor before making films. That's fun fact number one. And then number two, again, like Shay did, he started in adult industry because bow chicka bow wow. Number three, Nightmare on Elm Street was inspired by real events that happened in Southeast Asia. Refugees who died from mysterious in their sleep from suffering from vivid nightmares. So, and then number four, Freddy Krueger's name is from his childhood bully. There we go. Number five, he created two of the biggest horror franchises, obviously Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream. He almost directed Beetlejuice. He was offered it. Thank God. I'm sorry, Wes Craven. Tim Burton was just a lot better with, stop motion. I mean, not stop motion, but Beetlejuice. I think he
Well,
just
there's
bring
stop motion in there,
no, no, no. Yeah, but he just brings a lot more kookiness to it.
but he also turned it down, it said, because he didn't find it scary.
Yeah, but still, he could have probably made it scary if he wanted to. Made like a
Ruined number 7, sorry.
yeah. So number seven, apparently Shay ruined it. He's terrified of snakes.
Sorry, I looked through these, but there were so many that I guess I missed that one, sorry.
Number eight, he made one non-horror movie, and it's about music. Well, even directed Music of the Heart in 1999, starring Meryl Streep, which now I kind of want to watch it now because it has Meryl Streep in it. Number nine, he had a sharp sense of humor about his work. Craven often poked fun at horror tropes, especially in Scream. So that's why he breaks the fourth wall because he says funny, hilarious things. So those little parts, that's actually him talking. Number 10, he's a nature lover. He's a bird watcher. He just loves bird watching. He's a nature lover, and I gotta say, that's what's up. But now we're gonna move on over to the good motion of Johnson spilling the tea. Yeah, I'm Johnny Johnson spilling some tea here. Spilling of the tea is Wes Craven versus Pauly Shore. And did you know that in 2007, Wes Craven sued his neighbor, and I didn't even know that they were neighbors, but Pauly Shore in Los Angeles County Superior Court. 2007, well, it's actually happened in December 2006, but you know how when it comes to legal proceedings and stuff like that, you know. But came out into 2007, got into a whole little dispute. The whole thing was about because Pauly Shore wanted to build a pool and a spa, and it would mess up the landscaping. Just crazy, very crazy. So, long story short, Mr. Pauly Shore had to pay for some damages that he did to Wes Craven. So, ergo, Wes Craven won that whole little litigation out of that outcome on that one, guys.
Mhm.
So,
But it's under
just
NDA.
yeah, but it's just I just wanted to at least tell you guys a straight up little fun fact that no one does really talk about when they're talking about Wes Craven and how he got into a little legal dispute and won against Pauly Shore.
Hmm.
Kind
So
of
he
just
probably just fixed it or paid him some money to fix it and call it a day.
yeah, yeah.
So, guys, that takes us to bonus content, the Lost Craven stories. So, like we promised, the banned student film. It was destroyed by college for blasphemy. It explored repression and religious guilt. So he actually did that in school, and similar to what his mom and dad did for him, the school also, thought it was sacrilegious, basically.
Oh yeah, man. So he tries pushing them boundaries. He's like, yo, boundaries, I'm pushing you. So what's up, man?
And then he almost never made Elm Street. New Line didn't want Unaliver in Dreams, so they threatened to shelf it, but then
Wow.
they actually did go ahead with it.
Yeah, because then they started looking at those numbers. Yeah.
And then his daughter's influence, Jessica said Johnny Depp was cute, so Craven cast him and made Depp's career, as we talked about already.
Hell yeah, dog.
And then near exit from film industry. So depression, he had pretty bad depression after The Deadly Friend flop. And he wrote a novel which pulled him back from filming for a while, but then obviously ended up
Damn.
coming back.
Yeah, man. Came back with those Scream movies.
And then he always went under a silent writing ritual. He would isolate for days, turn off his phone, have no sound, and use silence basically to get to his writing. He did this a lot for the Scream series as well.
I mean, that's the best way. Is get some silence. Don't want to be bothered. Just get some silence and just get some tip typing.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to add?
Nah, man. I mean, we did a lot for Wes Craven. I think we did some justice.
So, guys, from the pews of a Baptist church to the screens of Hollywood, Wes Craven turned his own nightmares into everyone else's. He was proof that terror could be thoughtful, that fear could be philosophy, and that sometimes the scariest monsters come from the quietest minds. And with Scream 7 on the horizon, his echo still cuts deep. Every time we laugh right before we scream, think of Wes Craven. And
Peace
that's
out,
it for
guys.
the podcast.